Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this September 6th, 2022 committee meeting agenda, our planning board. And I'd like to welcome my deputy mayor and my fellow councillors. Councillor Brian McFeely is at another meeting. He's going to be a few minutes late. So Councillor Adams will take over as chair. But also welcome to Aaron McDonald, the engineer from Tech Services, and Linda Stevenson. And we have members of the public with us tonight and our viewing audience on YouTube. And we'd welcome Colin McLean on YouTube and viewers from other members of the media. We also have our CAO, Gordon McFarland, with us. And Brian Harlick is running the controls here. He's got a couple of titles tonight. He's in Human Resources, Acting Human Resources Director, and the clerk, and a couple other chores. So he's going to run the controls for our YouTube tonight. So welcome to all. And at this point, I'll turn it over to the acting chair, Councillor Adams. The floor is yours, ma'am.
Perfect. Thank you, Your Worship. I'll sit, and so I'm closer to the mic. Yeah, he told me I had to. So I'll be doing the reading tonight, and the other committee members are Councillor Ramsey and Your Worship, so just so that's on record. So I'll read the recommendation from Planning Board. The subject is Maple Grove Road Extension, preliminary subdivision approval. So the supporting explanation. Purpose: subdivide PID 72983, which is a consolidation of PID 72983 and PID 662676, creating 4 lots, 22-1A to 22-1D, a public street and easements, B and C, for a temporary cul-de-sac, and the remainder of PID 72983, consolidation of PID 72983 and PID 662676. The planning board is required to make a recommendation to council on this application, and preliminary approval is required by council before the development can proceed. Background: an application was received from Arsenault Brothers Holdings, Inc. to subdivide this parcel into 4 lots. The proposed lots are intended for residential development, low-density housing. The proposed subdivision layout is indicated on preliminary survey plan prepared by Locust Surveys Limited, drawing number 22088-S02, dated August 22nd, 2022. Report. As required under Section 3.6 of the Subdivision and Site Development Bylaw, Council Planning Board and the Development Officer shall consider the following general criteria when reviewing development applications under this bylaw as applicable. A, conformity with this bylaw. Staff comment: this subdivision promotes smart growth, making effective use of the land, and applies to the principle of orderly and following. B, conformity with the official plan. Staff comment: the subdivision conforms to the official plan as the future land use for the property is residential. C, conformity with the zoning bylaw. Staff comment: the proposed lots conform with the zoning bylaw as the land is zoned single-family residential R1 and low-density mixed residential R2. D, the orderly and following nature of the development. Staff comment: this development promotes residential growth and is an example of infilling vacant land. E, physical suitability of the site for proposed development, including avoidance of natural hazards, undue water runoff, or environmental damage. Staff comment: this site is suitable for development. The development will have no impact regarding natural hazards or environmental damage, as these matters are not applicable with this development. The developer's plan for street drainage meets city requirements. F, compatibility of the proposed development with the present and future surrounding patterns of streets, lots, and services, including conformity with any city concept plans. Staff comment: this development is compatible with the current and future surrounding patterns of streets and services. The development of the low-density residential lots is intended to be developed in phases. The first 4 lots will be developed in 2023, and the remainder of land will be developed at a later date. The existing public street network can be extended to this development. Municipal services are existing. A street connection to the east of the property will be provided to accommodate future growth. The street to the north of this development is the proposed location of the east-west connector road. G, adequacy of the applicant's proposals for traffic circulation, parking, pedestrian access, water supply, sewage disposal, and storm drainage, including the adequacy of city streets and services to handle increased loads. Staff comment, there will be minimal change to traffic flow on Maple Grove Road because of this development. The proposed residential street will be designed to meet a 50-kilometer-per-hour local street with the speed limit posted at 40 kilometers per hour. The proposed street would have an 8.8-meter width with concrete curbs and a temporary emergency turnaround. The paved shoulder on the proposed street will allow for safe pedestrian traffic. The city's water supply in the area is adequate for the new subdivision, and the sewage treatment plant can handle the additional sewage loading. New water and sewer services will have to be installed to service the newly created lots at the developer's expense. All infrastructure is to be designed and installed to meet city standards at the developer's cost. Staff comment. Parkland dedication is required for a major residential subdivision based on buildable area. Council may defer parkland, all or a portion of parkland dedication. The developer would like to defer a portion of the parkland dedication for the remaining lands excepting lot 22-1A and 222-1D. Parkland fees for lot 2022-1D will be exempted as this parcel is extended to be one large lot and will not be further subdivided. Parkland fees would apply to lots 22-1A, 22-1B, and 22-1C. The buildable area is 4,329 square meters, or 1.07 acres of low-density residential land. At council's discretion, the parkland dedication shall be 5% land, or $1,750 per acre monetary park contribution. Land dedication at 5% would be 216 square meters, or 0.05 acres. Monetary dedication at $1,750 per acre would be $1,872.50. The city has sufficient green space, Bluebell Park and Rotary Park within 2 kilometers of the subject property. The city is proposing to satisfy the parkland dedication with monetary dedication. The parkland contributions shall be put in a fund reserved solely for acquiring or expanding public parks within the city. I, impacts on city finances and budgets. Staff comment, the preliminary subdivision approval application will have an impact on city finances and budget. The original water and sewer latecomer charges for Maple Grove Road was based on the road being connected to Walker Avenue, with the frontages for the water and sewer systems assigned to each of those individual properties. Based on the changes to the road layout and new frontages being proposed for this development and for the east-west connector, the applicable frontages have changed for PID 72983 from 198 meters to 110 meters. If this layout changes again, the frontages may change, but for now, the following reflects this layout. The original frontages for PID number 662676 have not changed. The charges based on the following proposed layout for the latecomer fee will be as follows. PID 72983 will be $44,109.86. PID 662676 will be $18,044.08. The total is $62,153.94. The original layout had a charge of $79,397.74. Based on this new layout, the charge is $44,109.86 for PID 72983. The total latecomer for the project will be reduced to $62,153.94, down from $97,401.82. J, proof of conformity with applicable provincial legislation and regulations. Staff comment, the developer shall conform with all provincial requirements as applicable. K, other matters as considered relevant. Staff comment, there's staff review. Technical services staff recommend the application from Arsenal Brothers Holdings, Inc. for a preliminary subdivision to subdivide PID 72983, creating 4 lots. Lot 22-1A to 22-1D, intended for low-density residential development, be recommended to be approved by council, subject to the following. 1, the developer shall satisfy all municipal servicing requirements. 2, the developer enters into a subdivision construction agreement. 3, the developer shall satisfy the parkland dedication requirements. As per section 8.5 of the subdivision and site development bylaw, the planning board shall make a recommendation to council on this application before it is approved or denied. The planning board recommendation, whether carried or defeated, will be brought forward to council for a final decision. Planning board recommendation, preliminary subdivision approval to be granted to Arsenault Brothers Holdings, Inc. to subdivide PID 72983, creating 4 lots, 22-1A to 22-1D, intended for low-density residential development, be recommended to be approved by council. And that's moved by Councilor Ramsey and seconded by your worship.
Okay, yes, sure. To get it on the floor, and
Okay.
are there questions?
And I think, oh, you guys are here. Oh, he snuck in. Okay, I was gonna say, and I knew Mr. Campbell was here, but Dave's here now too. So, the developer is here if we have questions, so.
Okay, I just have a couple of questions, and it says, what is the monetary contribution for Parkland? You're quoting a lot of dollar numbers there.
I know,
and-
it
but
was a lot,
Maybe
wasn't
Aaron
it?
or Linda could help us with that.
So, it's $17.50 per acre.
But then you
And-
bounced out 90-some thousand or 60-some thousand, so I'm just trying to fit.
Oh, that was.
That's the latecomers fee and so on.
So that's not this
No,
cost
that's
to
the,
this
no,
developer?
the Parkland,
I'm just trying to
because
get inside the heads of John Q. Public who
Yeah.
may be listening, wondering what's
So-
going on here.
what the developer would be donating to the Parkland Fund is $1,872.50, because it's just over an acre, and an acre is $1,750.
But I think, Basil, you were talking about the other,
Yeah, it's the latecomer fees.
Right, so that's the
Is-
next developers.
Yeah, this developer is paying latecomer fees, because the work, has already been done, so they're late coming into it, so they're repaying.
What, does the developer know this, or is he just finding this out now?
No,
You know.
I should stand up and talk to this.
Just come to the microphone, give your name and
This
address.
is the only kind of point. We didn't come with a presentation or anything, it's a pretty small subdivision, but we basically just wanted to come to make sure if there were any questions, but, Gord, we met with Kristen and the previous owner and the latecomer charges. I don't know if they were updated for this report. We have an email from Kristen, that adjusted the latecomer fees for both of those PIDs to,
I think they were adjusted.
they were adjusted, but I don't know if, you didn't get CC'd on the email, so I didn't realize that would have been part of your report tonight, so, but I thought we should bring, no, yeah, so I
Okay.
just thought I should bring that up, just in case it was voted on, just to make sure those numbers are correct, cause it is lower, the latecomer charges that we've kind of agreed to with.
Lower than the ones that were mentioned?
Yeah, exactly, so I don't know if that should be brought to record,
Do
I
you
would
have them?
imagine. I just have the email up from Kristen that.
Read it into the minutes.
We should, yeah, I think, this is from Kristen Dunsford, email to myself and Donna McKay and CC'd Gordon McFarland. So the email was, August 9th. So as a follow-up to a meeting held on July 19th, 2022, with David Arsenault, Donna McKay, Gordon McFarland, and Kristen Dunsford in attendance, we would like to confirm that the latecomer charges for PIDs 72983 and 662676 was adjusted to $20,000 plus HST to reflect the original understanding from discussions held prior to the infrastructure work being performed.
So that 20,000 is for the total?
That's right.
Great.
It says there will be no interest applied to these latecomer charges, and I have attached an adjusted invoice. So this is an invoice, sent to us from Kristen Dunsford. Any questions, please let us know. And the back story to that was far before my time. It was,
And my apologies to
I
council,
think
I should
maybe
have caught
Gordon's
that on
too,
this.
but.
Yeah, I should have caught that on this report before it went to you, but
Well, I just wanted to get the numbers. I was trying to sort them
Yeah.
out in my head as you're going through there, but I understand it now. And one other question through you, Madam Chair, if I could.
Yeah.
These are single-family homes or duplexes, or?
These are single-family home lots. So
Thank you.
there's, four new single-family home lots split on, the parcel being subdivided as two separate parcels, or a portion of one parcel and another parcel. It's only, one lot's 5.5 acres, and the other 3 lots are between a 1/4 acre and a 1/2 acre. And then there's another strip of of the main parcel to the north that will leave. It's actually to the north of the proposed east-west connector, and kind of goes through that proposed east-west connector. So we don't have a plan to develop that right now, but we do have a plan just to develop this. The very end of Maple Grove Road is where it is.
So those are gonna be big lots, obviously, and nice homes, single-family homes.
These
Not
ones
a
up
big
there,
lot.
yeah, I mean, it's a nice wooded area, and then my wife and I are actually planning on building our house on the big one on the south of the side of the lot, or the road, so.
I'm here, Bruce. I just want to ask one quick question. If just, David, are those thank you again for
Yeah.
doing your business in Summerside, and we really appreciate it. And but are these homes being built for you to sell, or are they being built to rent, or are they
No,
being
my plan is just to sell the lots.
sell the?
So
Oh,
they'd
okay,
be
sell the
to-
lots
to-
for building.
Yeah, so
Okay.
to a homeowner or to a builder. I don't have them sold or spoken for or anything yet, but
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
just getting them ready to
yeah,
sell.
basically we're just extending the street. So the
Okay.
street, the actual street ends, and you may not have ever been down there if you didn't have a reason to go down. It's just a dead end road. There's a cemetery at the front of it, but there's a few houses as you go
Yeah.
back.
Right.
And the plan here is just an extension of the existing road. So we're essentially, the water and sewer's already in, so we'll just pave and grade and everything. It's only about 196 feet is what it is.
So,
Yeah.
It's almost like being in the country, in the city, the way that road goes.
Yeah, it's a nice area, so, yeah. And then it's kind of, Gillespie ends down at the bottom of the PID on the bottom right-hand side.
Oh,
Gillespie
okay.
kind of
Right.
butts up to down the field a bit, but
Okay.
it's, the Reed's fields in there, they have a few, it's about over 100 acres, I think, in there. It's all farm field right now, so.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
sorry. So the road is not in yet, right?
No, the Maple
So-
Grove Road.
Yeah,
if
it
you-
ends
it's
there.
It is there.
Yeah.
But so what the work we'll be doing, will just be an extension of the pavement that's
Right.
there.
So where's the latecomer charges coming from?
The water and the sewer that was put through, that runs and connects Walker to
Okay,
Maple Grove Road.
okay, because
So
it
we-
was
when we built the
planned
road-
previous to go to
Exactly.
It
Walker.
was supposed to go to Walker.
Okay, I was trying to figure that one out. Yeah.
Is it Walker or Mount? Walker.
17 years ago, the water and sewer was extended. They had issues.
Yeah,
It was extended over to Walker, and the
Uh,
water was
yeah.
also looped to Walker.
yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
The other question I had was, that lot that you were saying that you're gonna build on, Dave, I just questioned the Panhandle lot. Wasn't there issues with those before?
That's the existing parcel as it sits now. We're not creating that panel. It really was that lot, as well as everything all the way across the road was all together. That panhandle exists now.
Yeah.
So they've split one side of the road versus the other.
Okay.
So it was an existing,
I have no problem with it. I just thought there was an issue at one time, because I know previous,
on this location or other locations?
no, not this location,
Okay.
other locations where we
Yeah.
ended up having panhandled lots.
Yeah, as you see, basically got 5 acres in back that the only access to Maple Grove Road is
Yeah.
through this frontage here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that panhandle would be your access out to Maple Grove.
correct.
Yeah, okay, I'm good.
I think Corey, I have another question, but I can wait for.
Yeah, so I have a couple questions. So, there's no future plan to connect with Walker, so that plan, you can sort of see when you look at the maps how they would connect, but so going ahead with this eliminates that future plan to connect with Walker?
Correct. The layout for the water and sewer was to connect to Walker. None of this, they both come at odd angles, and again, that was afterwards, after 17 years ago. The east-west, that's the only place they could come through with the east-west through undeveloped property.
Okay.
The route come through and said, okay, we're not gonna bring it right into the middle of Walker. We'll go at the end of Walker and continue on, so it's not a bigger street dumping into an existing subdivision.
I just recall, when we had other developments ahead of us, and, we were talking about developing up Walker area, that the one access was always an issue, so,
Yeah.
obviously, the east-west connector is planned, or is a plan moving forward, but if that plan doesn't go ahead, then are we cornering them into
No,
no
the-
exit out of Walker?
Right now, there will be no exit out of Walker, but the exit out of Walker Walker will connect over to Mountain.
them, yeah.
At Mountain now, and if you go up there, that's actually being built right now. The connection from Walker to Mountain will allow Walker and Colin to be looped around together. And that's being built right now. Colin will then extend out to the east-west connector. There's probably one there that we can,
Okay.
yeah, if you just give us a second there, we can see the bright red, the red line on the right there that we can,
And the one that's developing right presently is, are single-family homes too there in Colin.
yeah, it's 10 or 11 single families. Colin will get extended out to meet the east-west, but not Walker. But Walker will have a loop that they can then go up Mountain and get onto the east-west or loop around and get back out. There will be other connections to Walker into the, I hate to say the yellow or mustard color R4, the vacant land. There will be connections from there that will come out in the future as well.
Perfect.
Right where Linda's showing you the hands, north of that red, right where she's moving the cursor around there,
See
you
it,
can see
Greg?
that, Councilor Campbell.
That's where the pit is?
Right up top
Yes,
there,
yeah.
right there.
That land is not being proposed in this 4-lot subdivision.
Okay.
It's the remaining lands.
Okay, the only other question I have, and just, I guess clarity, and I think it's important, David was saying about the 20,000 for the latecomers. I'm just wondering how we got to such a round number, or, as we have people coming forward, developers, they're always looking for, to cut their costs, which is reasonable,
Yeah.
but I just want an explanation as, so we have somebody in the future, we don't set a precedent we can't follow.
Yeah, there were a handful of issues on the latecomer charges, the communications going back 17 years, and a few other variables that led staff to sit down with the developer and the current landowner and have a discussion about what was a fair and reasonable number to arrive at.
Is the construction plan for this fall?
Yeah.
It is.
Hopefully.
And I just have one more quick question, and I don't know if it's even my business, but when you were reading the email, it was to you and Donna. Is Donna involved in this project as well?
We're buying the land from Don.
Oh, okay, that's, I
And
just,
it,
okay.
it closes, in a couple weeks. but
Closes
right now
today?
we're-
No.
Yeah, not today, but yes.
No.
Yeah, 2 weeks. We just-
Okay,
yeah,
no,
Yeah, so.
thank you. I just, when the name came up, I just didn't know of it, because
Yeah.
I just saw your name,
Yeah,
so
we're
then I
just-
was,
We're buying it from her. so
you're buying
we-
it from her.
We just had a few, those are a few things we wanted to figure out before kind of
Work out first,
closing the deal, basically. So that was, the latecomer fees was one of the big ones.
100%.
So what
Thank you.
we'll do is we'll get that email
Yeah.
and Kristen can work with, just so we have the official correct amount, work with tech services and Brian to get the right, and the minutes worded correctly. I just quickly, before we finish, I just want to say that it's great. I'm happy to see you're doing something else. I know we've had a summer of intense development out my way, and your development and Starlight have been excellent with the residents. You don't start before 7 a.m. and that's really appreciated, and it's been mentioned, so just wanted to say thank you, because
good to hear.
you're very easy to work with, so.
That's good to hear.
It's great to see the single-family homes being developed
Yeah,
as well. And so this goes, the procedure goes to council on what date?
yeah, Brian, I don't want to get the dates wrong, so. On September 19th, right. So September 19th will be the next time this is discussed.
Is that,
I think the same day or the day.
Yeah, it's going for final decision on that.
And yeah,
the reason I mention that is, obviously, we have no objections to this, and if there's a scheduled meeting before that, we're into September now, and the construction season's getting shorter. Is it possible to have it on at an earlier meeting if there's one planned? Would that be of any assistance?
well, it
to you?
has to be a certain amount of days, so, no?
No, we're good if you guys have another meeting, if we can get the resolutions done. we'll
I
be
know
ready.
there is a planning board scheduled on September 14th at noon time. We could
Okay.
schedule that for that same day right after.
So if
that's the wish.
planning board's okay, Brian, can we edit on that day?
If you wish, yeah.
Yeah, okay. As planning board, everybody okay? Okay, you're okay, your worship, with that?
That's fine.
Okay, so we'll move it up to the 14th.
You'll need more than your planning board, because it'll be at a council meeting.
A special meeting.
Yeah.
Right afterwards, but
And
Yeah.
Linda and Aaron, would you need anything else from us before that, stage, No, that's perfect.
this could shove it ahead
Okay,
a week
so
for
we'll
the
put it up a
developers.
week.
Yeah, that'll help.
But a week is a long time this time of year.
Every hour helps.
David? I did want to, the same as other members of council, compliment you on the development. I can't get over how well outlaid they are, and people are in along Water Street East already. So there's a real need, and you can see it because of the people being in there, because that didn't finish that long ago.
No, we're happy to.
No,
Well, I
and it
understand
looks
Lots of
really good.
demand, still lots of demand and.
It
I
looks
understand
really
we
good.
need 500 apartments presently.
Yeah.
That's the word according to economic development, or maybe more. So,
Yeah.
thank you for your great work and your construction jobs in our community.
We're happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Okay, thanks both of you. Okay, so then that's it, I'll adjourn the meeting.
We should,
and-
I guess we did vote on it, did we, that resolution? Yeah,
Oh,
we
sorry.
should vote on to take it to
So it
council.
was moved by Council Ramsey and seconded by your worship, so all in favor?
Okay. So we got the
Motion
date, the
carried.
developers got the date that is going to the next meeting.
So that's one for September 14th.
Yep, we'll take
Great.
it from the 16th and move to the 14th or whatever.
Thank you.
19th, sorry.
So is that all we have on the
That was
agenda?
another date.
That's all we have on the agenda for now, and I understand there's one item for the committee of the whole. So let's take a 2-minute stretch, and then we'll do that one. Can we, Brian will take a second to get us disconnected here.